The history of Anglo-Saxon literature covers the period from the migration of Germanic tribes to Britain in the 5th century to the Norman Conquest in 1066. Here's a detailed overview. 1. Early period, 5th to 7th century. Oral tradition. The early Anglo-Saxons, consisting of various Germanic tribes, relied on oral tradition for storytelling. Poems and legends were passed down through generations. Epic poetry. The most notable work from this period is Beowulf, an epic poem that reflects heroic ideals and the struggles of the warrior society. It likely had pagan origins, but was later recorded by Christian scribes. 2. Christian influence, 7th to 9th century. Conversion to Christianity. With the arrival of Christian missionaries in the late 6th and early 7th centuries, including St. Augustine in 597, Anglo-Saxons gradually converted to Christianity. This had a profound impact on literature. Latin literature. Early Christian literature was primarily in Latin, including works by Bede, such as Ecclesiastical History of the English People, a historical account of the conversion and early history of England. 3. The Golden Age of Anglo-Saxon literature, 8th to 11th century. Venerable Bede, an Anglo-Saxon monk, wrote extensively on theological and historical subjects. His works played a crucial role in preserving knowledge. Alfred the Great, King Alfred, 871 to 899, promoted education and translated key Latin works into Old English. His efforts contributed to the development of prose literature. Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, a historical record written in Old English. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle chronicles events from the time of Julius Caesar to the 12th century. 4. Poetry and prose, 10th to 11th century. Old English poetry. Besides Beowulf, other poems like The Wanderer, The Seafarer, and The Battle of Maldon exemplify the elegiac and heroic qualities of Old English poetry. Elfric and Wulfstan. Elfric, a monk, wrote religious prose, including sermons and homilies. Wulfstan, Archbishop of York, contributed to legal and homiletic literature. 5. Viking invasions and decline, 9th to 11th century. Viking invasions. Viking raids and invasions in the 9th and 10th centuries disrupted the cultural and literary life of the Anglo-Saxons. End of the Anglo-Saxon period. The Battle of Stamford Bridge, 1066, and the Norman Conquest marked the end of the Anglo-Saxon period. The Norman rulers brought their own literary and cultural influences. The rich literary heritage of the Anglo-Saxons laid the foundation for later English literature. Despite the challenges and disruptions, the works from this era continue to be studied for their cultural, historical, and linguistic significance.